Hey there, super sewing stars. Do you find yourself in mysterious situations where your lip balm and keys always seem to vanish? Well, not anymore. Today we're making a custom lip balm holder, a cute little project that'll save your sanity and make your keychain look extra fancy. Plus, this project is quick, it's fun, and it's perfect for beginners or seasoned sewists looking for a creative break. Whether you're someone who uses your lip balm daily or you just love the idea of a chic, functional accessory, this project has got you covered. So grab your sewing gear, a cup of your favorite beverage, and let's get sewing. Let's dive in and turn that sewing machine into a lip balm lifesaver. Here is what you need to whip up this handy holder. You need two pieces of fabric, one for the exterior and one for the lining. Mine measures 11 inches high by 3 inches wide. I'm going to be explaining to you how I got these measurements. Next, we're going to need our snap buttons to give you that satisfying click. Then next, we need our ruler, and then we need our trusty scissors to cut. Next, we need our thread cutter. Then we need our key ring. And lastly, matching thread. So here's how we get the measurement of our fabric. Take the height of your lip balm tube, multiply that by 2 and add 5.5 inches. That will be your fabric height. For the width, measure around the lip balm and add half an inch. So for my lip balm, which is 2 and 3/4 inches tall and 2.5 inches around, I'm cutting 11 inches high by 3 inches wide. If you use the formula, you definitely get it right. Now let's add some structure. On the wrong side of both your exterior and lining pieces, you're going to be measuring 1.5 inches down from one of the short edges, and then you're going to draw a line. So you're going to do this 2 more times. So we've got 3 lines, meaning that in between those 3 lines, you're going to have 1.5 inches. So I'm drawing my lines now. So that means the first line will be 1.5 inches from the top edge. Second line will be 3 inches from the top edge. Then the third line will be 4.5 inches from the top edge. Now, on the second line, we're going to be marking half an inch in on both sides. So half an inch in on that side, then a half an inch in on this side. I'm going to be repeating this with the top edge. So half an inch in, that's on the top edge, half an inch on the other side too of the top edge. So you're doing this only on the top edge and on the second line. Next, we're not going to be connecting the dots diagonally. So I'm going to start with the second line marks. So for the second line marks, you're going to be connecting the marks to the bottom, to the first line and the third line. Okay, so you're connecting the end of those of the bottom lines now. Sorry, not the bottom lines. Yeah, bottom lines actually. But the end of the third line is what I'm connecting now to the second line mark. Then when I'm done, I would connect the end of the first line to those second line marks as well. This I'm sure if you follow this carefully, you're going to get what I'm doing. Yeah, so I just connected, the lines I told you about now diagonally. And lastly, I'm going to be connecting the top edge marks to the first line end. So yeah, I'm connecting that and I'm connecting that as well. So when you're done, you would have these beveled edges. What we're going to do next is we're going to now cut along those lines. So I'm just shading those the parts to cut out, so you know what you're going to be cutting out. So you're going to cut along those lines that we just connected, and very soon we should be ready to sew. So make sure you're using a very sharp scissors, not not the kind you'll be wrestling with, especially along those corners. So I'm holding myself back from fast forwarding this so that you can see exactly what I am doing in real time. Okay, so I have just gone ahead to cut along those lines that we just drew. We're going to repeat this with the other piece. So I did this on my lining piece. Then I'm going to repeat this on my exterior piece. So if you do this well, by the time where we start to sew, everything should properly align. Like I said earlier, I was going to repeat this with my exterior. This is all done now. So now that we're done with this, we're going to place the exterior and lining pieces right sides together. And then we're going to clip or pin them in place. Just do whatever makes you feel fancy. But if you're using leather or cork or vinyl at any point, just like I'm doing now, for your exterior, then you have to clip them round. So we're going to be sewing all the way round, but don't forget to leave at least a 4-inch gap on one straight edge, one straight side actually. So this gap is our escape hatch for turning everything right side out. As you can see, I left about 4 to 5 inches gap on one of the straight sides. So before we turn this piece out, we're going to be trimming our seam allowance to about 1/4 of an inch. So the only part you're not going to trim is the parts that you're going to be folding in. Okay, so for folding in as well, for folding in your seam allowance, it's pretty easy if you're using fabric all through. Just press with a hot iron. But if you're using leather, vinyl, or cork like I'm doing, double-sided tape is your best friend. So you'd have to like apply double-sided tape to fold your seam allowance over. Now you're going to turn your piece right side out through that gap that we left earlier, and this is where you would need a blunt tool like a chopstick to push out those corners. So if you're feeling wild and rebellious, you can use scissors like I'm doing right now, or maybe don't. So but just be careful, while you push the corners out. Once this is flipped, you're going to be pressing the seams with a hot iron. If you're using leather, like if you're working with leather like I did, just you already used double-sided tape and you should be fine. Finally, you're going to be top stitching all the way around for a clean finish. Straight stitches, please, or at least straightish. We're not here for perfection, we're here for progress. Now, yeah, our top stitch is done. Remember that measurement for your lip balm tubes height plus half an inch at the very beginning. We need that now. So for mine, it was 2 3/4 of an inch multiplied by 2, which was that was 5.5 plus half an inch, now 6. So I will now measure 6 from the bottom of this particular piece. So we are doing this with the lining part of this piece facing, you know, the right side facing you. So that means that the exterior side is down while the lining part is up facing you. So you're going to be measuring 6 on the lining, 6 inches from the bottom on the lining. And you make sure you mark, this whatever you measured on both sides. So you now fold the bottom edge up to meet those marks. Clip it in place and sew along the sides. Repeat to the other side. So you're going to be stitching along both sides with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance because we're actually top stitching. So you're going to be following the stitches the former top stitch we had. And just like that, we've got a pocket. So it's at this point you're going to be grabbing your keyring. Then you're going to slide it onto the beveled top edge and fold the top around it. So you could also use a D ring or any ring that you feel works best for you. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a key ring. Now we're going to measure about 1 inch down from the key ring and sew straight across. So I'm gonna have to quickly clip in place. I can sew across that. So just like that, you've made your lip balm holder keychain friendly. So with that simple top stitch, we now have a keychain. Then last but definitely not the least, we're going to be adding the snap buttons. So to start with, we would install the male snap on what we now call the flap. So, after the keychain parts, definitely we have this part that is covering our lip balm holder. This is what we have decided to call our flap. You're going to find the center of this, and most of the time for my flaps I just measure half an inch upwards for whatever snap I'm planning to use. So install the male snap button following the manufacturer's instructions. So as soon as this is done, you're going to pop your lip balm into the holder to find the perfect spot for the female snap. So you're going to mark this so-called perfect spot, and following the manufacturer's instructions, just like we did with the male snap, you're going to secure the female snap in place. If you've ever worked with snaps before, you know it's a love-hate relationship, but the results are worth it in the end. We're almost done with installing the female snap buttons. And after that, it will be done. And yay, there you have it, guys. Your very own custom lip balm holder. It's cute, it's functional, and it's perfect for anyone who's always losing their lip balm or their keys. No shades. But if the shoe fits, let's wear it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Let's take a moment to admire what you've created. Handmade brilliance that's as practical as it is stylish. I love to see your versions, so be sure to tag me on social media or drop your photos in the comments. Plus, if you're feeling generous, this make great gifts for friends, family, or anyone who could use a little organization in their life. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming sewing adventures. Happy sewing, friends, and as always, remember you've got this. See you next time. Bye.